And let's bring in ABC News contributor and former Republican Congresswoman for Virginia, Barbara Comstock, as well as former Democratic Mayor of Baltimore, Stephanie Rawlings-Blake, for more on this. Thank you both for being here. Barbara, I'll start with you. Republicans have made some major gains in the polls recently. What do you think is contributing to that uptick?
Well, I think the focus on the economy and crime is definitely helping Republicans. This is very much feeling like, in 2014, a midterm when I was elected to Congress, it feels very much like that. I was in a swing seat and, in October, things very much broke our way. And even though I was initially in a toss-up seat, I won by double digits. 4 years later, with a very unpopular Donald Trump, I lost my seat in the midterm as things broke against us. So it feels like the traditional midterm where, the party that's not in power, things are breaking against, the party in power. And I think Republicans feel very confident that they're going to gain those 20-plus seats in the House. And certainly they will gain the majority in the House. And I think the only question mark Senate, where the candidate quality in a number of these seats where Republicans should have won or should win, say in Pennsylvania or in Georgia, but we have, particularly in Georgia, the poor quality given Herschel Walker, or in Arizona with Blake Masters, the poor quality of candidates that Donald Trump picked really makes it questionable whether Republicans can gain.
Now, Stephanie, 538's polls show since 2006, on average, the president's party tends to lose some steam, roughly 1.2 points in the final 15 days leading up to midterm elections. That's based on those generic ballots that we heard Rick Klein talking about. But Democrats were ahead in these same polls just about a week ago. What do you make of that, and what do Democrats need to do right now?
Democrats need to focus on turnout. And it's all about making sure that your momentum hits, that you hit your peak at the right time. And I think we need to learn the lessons of the past. We know that midterm elections favor the party that is out of power. So that means that Democrats all over the country need to be laser focused on getting our major voters, our most likely voters, to the polls. And I think, while the inflation, the price rise for families is important, it's also important to take a look at the issues like abortion rights and our Supreme Court. That is going to be such a big issue that's going to motivate people to the polls. And, we have great candidates all over the country, and it's about making sure that our likely voters are getting out there.
Barbara, the Senate's now 50-50, so any state could make or break a majority. Tonight is the first and only debate in Pennsylvania, a battleground state. How much of an impact could that have, and what are you looking out for?
Well, I think obviously that is a big impact. In Pennsylvania always has been a very swingy state with the Senate races as well as presidential. So I think, with Dr. Oz, you have somebody who's never won a state race. Whereas Fetterman obviously has. You have both former President Obama and President Biden going in there to help. Donald Trump is not popular in Pennsylvania necessarily, and Doug Mastriano, the governor candidate, is trailing and is not going to win there. So I think their turnout and candidate quality is a real issue. So I think people should realize, your vote really matters there. And I think you're going to see a lot of split ticket voting. So I think people should know their vote really matters there. And I think you'll have people paying attention to candidate quality there.
And Stephanie, we have seen the president on the campaign trail, especially in Pennsylvania, as we get closer to Election Day. But some Democratic candidates have been distancing themselves from Biden. Considering his low approval rating, what do you think is the best strategy for Democrats right now?
Democrats need to, where the president is popular, he needs to go. That's why you've seen him so many times in Pennsylvania. And where he is unpopular, we have to face the facts. As I said before, in a midterm election, it is par for the course for the party that's out of power to surge, and we have to fight that. And we can't fight that, and worry about if we're going to hurt the president's feelings. He knows how to play this game. He knows he needs to be used where he can be helpful, and where he can't, he needs to step back, as he has, and let others really push forward. We can't afford to make any mistakes. The margins are too thin for us to make any unforced errors.
All right, Barbara Comstock, Stephanie Rawlings Brake. Great to talk to you both. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.